There's incidents, destruction of my farmland by herders. It's been going on for years now and it's getting worse. It's just unfortunate that even with complaints to the government, the destruction keeps increasing.
What exactly is the magnitude of this destruction?
For my land, it's over 4 plots of land that has been destroyed, and the last time I could replant, that was around December when they first destroyed this farming season, because I cannot even count the previous ones that have been destroyed. But if I even add those ones that I was able to replant back, I think it's over five plots of land destroyed. Repeatedly. My cassava farm.
Where is this farm located?
Biogbolo, along the Glory Drive, the one that are fixing down to Government House, or the Amarata Deraba.
Are you the only farmer affected by this?
No, I'm not. Even in my area, where I farm, we have women affected by this issue, by this herders crisis. A lot. In fact, uncountable. I can't even count the number of farms affected. There's a woman that over 6 plots of land was destroyed, has been destroyed recently. They wiped everything away. There are lots of over the time you've seen women come out to protest in different communities, even block the major road to protest. So there are lots of people that are being affected by this issue.
Well, can you give us an insight into what happened a few days ago?
Okay, I just woke up and I received a call that my farm has been destroyed, and I went to the farm. I couldn't take it because I've come out to protest not once. December last year I was out to protest. Around I think beginning of February I was out to protest, and then again last I think 3 or 4 days ago I was out to protest again on the same issue, because they will not let my farm rest. I will just put it that way. The herders do not let us rest. They just keep destroying our farms. So I was out to protest again at the government house. While I was there protesting, I just sat down there. There was a free flow of vehicle just that was sitting at one of the pavements along the road leading inside the government house, and then we had some journalists around and some other online media platforms that came to cover the protests. I was sitting there and I was on a call when I saw that a journalist was being harassed, and they were like, I just heard delete the video. I was like, what's happening? Why are they telling him to delete? Because I know that even while I was just sitting down protesting, I saw the camera on me. The journalist was trying to take a video of me, so I was wondering, did he take a video of the security personnel? Why are they telling him to delete the video? So I stood up from where I was and then went to meet them, and I asked the security, sorry please, the video that he's taking he took a video of me, not you. And I was like, okay, let's even check the phone, that if your face is on the video, then you can ask him to delete it, but not when your face is not on the video. And then the next started shouting. In fact, the boy was even actually trying to delete the video. That the journalist was even trying to delete the video, and the next thing he shouted, move, like taking him inside the government house security. And so I said, no, there's no way somebody that came here to amplify my voice would be taken to security. And so I followed them. As I was going, I was trying to explain to him. The security guy shouted, you say follow, and then he took my phone and smashed my phone on the floor, and then he took us inside. They took us inside the security office, forced us to sit down there. Just a few minutes while they were still talking, the permanent secretary for agriculture came in, because he came to meet me and said, that the commissioner asked that I should come with him to his office. And I told the security man that, Oga, you'd have to pay for my phone. I'm not leaving. And I told them I'm not leaving there without the journalist. I won't leave in there because the journalist did nothing wrong. And that's after they've even forcefully deleted the video and we've also went to the back end, which is because when you delete videos from your phone, especially when you have an iPhone, there's a place where you have deleted videos. They went there and also forced him to delete that so that they don't have any of the videos from there. And then I told them I'm not leaving there without the journalist. they said they cannot take my word, that I have to go, that no problem, they will release they promised the permanent secretary that they would release the boy, but not when I am there, because they cannot say because I'm saying it, that's why they will say. I said okay, I took the boy's contact and said, if I'm done with the ministry and the boy is not released, I'll come back. But when I was done, I called and I heard that it was read. But when they asked him to delete the video, they assaulted him, they slapped him. I can remember they slapped, the security officer slapped him, and many things they were saying. In fact, one of the man even told me that, oh, I'm coming to protest, I'm here to protest, that I'm not actually here to protest, that he had a security an intelligence report that somebody wants to kill, assassinate the deputy governor. So I am blocking, I came here to block the way for them to assassinate. And meanwhile, when the deputy governor's convoy passed, I was actually talking with the CSO by the side. I was not even on the road protesting. So he was just trying to frame me, and I told him, typical of you people. And then he kept quiet and started talking, and I started just saying, trying to, and I told them that you guys are just intimidating me. I have the right. And they said I don't have the right to protest. I said, why would I come and protest? I said I have the right to come here and protest. And they started making reference that if it was also wrong, would I go there, that they would not even allow me to be there, and many talks. And that was basically what happened. I later called the journalist, and he said that he's been released after they forced him, something like that. And I saw on Nation's news yesterday that they actually forced him to write a statement that he's not going to publish any video relating to that protest.
What happened at the commissioner's office?
Well, it was just same story that I hear. We are working on it, we are fixing the issue, we just hold on, we are, it's kind of thing, just those normal conversation, nothing serious.
So as it stands now, your crops are destroyed, you don't have any hope of harvesting anything. Is that as bad as it is?
I have that particular farm, they destroyed everything, but I have other farms that they didn't destroy everything. But that my investment in that farm is gone. I don't have anything I'm going to be investing from that farm, nothing.
Well, when you went there, what exactly did you want from the government?
Because I've gone there before twice to tell them about what's happening. This time around, I actually just went there because I was tired. I just wanted them, okay, since you cannot protect our farms and I cannot farm, then just give me a job. Yes, that's what I want. Just give me a job so that I will stop farming. That was the reason why I went there this last time, and that's what I was saying when I got there. And that's what I also told the commissioner, that since you cannot protect our property, you cannot protect our farms, you cannot protect what we are doing, then just give me a job.
Have you written to the government, to any security agency formally about this?
Yes, in fact, the reason why I decided to start protesting this year, because last year March they destroyed some part of my farm. That was the last farming season, and I wrote a petition to the Commissioner for Agriculture, to the Speaker House of Assembly, to the Commissioner for Police, the Ministry of Justice, that's the Attorney General, to the governor's office, and I think Ministry of Environment, as the Commissioner. So I have my copies of those petitions. Then this year again, just before I went for this last protest, I have a petition written to DSS, to government again, to every other person I'd mentioned earlier. I've written another petition telling them that, and it's not just my farm, the farm of people around my cluster where the things were destroyed. I have the copies of those petitions.
What do you want now?
The major thing we want is for this thing not to occur again. Just end just end the crisis. Let them not destroy our farm. It's as simple as that. We want to farm peacefully. We want to farm and know that, okay, when we are investing in farming, we would actually reap, we actually harvest. These farmers are, the farm that we do is the only source of our livelihood, especially for lots of farmers in our communities. That is the only source of life. That's what they use for everything, for feeding, for clothing, probably sending their children to school, every single thing. So let us farm in peace. Stop these headers from destroying our crops. Simple.
You're live on radio. Good morning to you. All right, go ahead.
Okay. My own part of the story is last month, exactly on the 21st of February, our farmlands were destroyed by herders. We have pictures, we have videos, we've written to the Commissioner of Agric, DSS, Police Commissioner, and the rest. House of Assembly Speaker, I personally went to the Commissioner, and the story was the same thing. We will do something, nothing has been done. Since last year till today, nothing has been done. It happened last year, it happened this year again. Our crops are gone. That's our source of livelihood. Our crops are gone. Nothing is happening. These people are in the bush. We went to the commissioner and told him, this is what is happening. Nothing has happened. What is the name? Professor Peke said. Nothing has happened till today. It's very pathetic. So if the government cannot help us, we will help ourselves. That's just the simple truth. If they cannot help us, we will help ourselves. It is too much. It is too much. And as I'm talking to you, we will call for a protest and they will not like it. They will not like it. Because we cannot be losing money. Some people collected loan. Some persons collected loan. Loan. How will they pay back? It's bad. The government is not even giving us grants. They're not doing anything. Anything to assist farmers. We are suffering. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
I thought the governor announced a 200 million naira grant to farmers.
Yeah. I told the commissioner one-on-one, how can we access this grant? He said it's in a process. That is, there we have to go through a process. What kind of process is that? We are the real farmers. They will give this money to people that are not farmers. It has happened before. It will still happen again. I asked him in his office. He said it's a process. That's what he told me. And we are waiting for them. Our numbers are there. Let them call us. We are ready to come. Our numbers are there. We wrote petitions to them with pictures and videos. They are there. You can come to the farm and see for yourself. The farms are still there. We cannot plant again. The planting season has passed. We cannot plant. That means the whole of that farm is gone. We spent thousands of naira to do those things. It's gone. And the government is not helping us. What are they doing? Is it the right of the individual to protect themselves? Is it not the government that will protect us? They are not doing it. It's bad. It's bad. Mr. Lishman, as I'm talking to you, I'm pained. I'm pained. We cannot continue like this.
Where's your farm?
You need to get me. I can't call a bush. And Enibo is a bush. You need to get me.
And you're not the only farmer who is affected, right?
No, I'm not the only farmer. We are many. So because of this thing, we have to register a cooperative. We have to register a cooperative. All the farmers inclusive. The whole area. We've registered the cooperative so that we can access these grants. But they are not attending to us. Anytime you go there, they will say the commissioner will speak to you. Say, we are working on it. That's how the thing will go. Till today. Till today. Some persons are even hospitalized because of the trauma. What they saw on the farm. It's bad. It's bad. Thank you.
What do you want exactly?
Let them stop this from happening because the government cannot give us money. They cannot give us. Let them stop this thing. We don't want to come to them and be hearing all sorts of stories. We are doing this on our own. We are not disturbing anybody. We have farms. We need to help ourselves to pay our children's school fees and other stuff. There's someone to come and destroy it. We just want this thing to stop. Okay, the other lady said, if you cannot stop it, give us jobs so that we'll stop this farming. Even jobs we don't get. We applied for all these civil service jobs. Nothing happened. They will never invite you for interview. Yeah? They will never invite. Okay, we are doing these things to help ourselves. But they cannot help us. It's bad. Let them give us jobs or let them give us this grant so that we can use it to start up next year. Now what we'll do is if we plant this year, we reserve some money to start the cultivation and buy raw materials next year. Now they've destroyed everything. We went as far as Elele to buy cassava stems. Now, where is the money for us to buy these cassava stems? Because we cannot even get stems from our farm again. The stems are destroyed. Even the yams, everything is destroyed. We buy a bag of yam tubers, 84,000 naira in Twale market. Who is going to give us that money? Some people bought 4 bags, 5 bags. Everything is going down the drain. What is the government doing? It's bad. It's bad. Thank you.
All right, thank you for also calling into the program. Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In all that I do, yes, I may have the political.
Right, the governor, Senator Doye Diri, has spoken quite a number of times about how Bayelsa will be a food hub from the 1st tenure, the commissioner at that time did promise Bayelsa rice and a whole lot. Now, Bayelsas themselves have gone into famine, but unfortunately, this is the result.
Because Enema people don't go destroy all the women farms, see the women for years, so I'm not concerned. So now I make a cover this year. So I won't go see government house. I walk out this thing, cadaver. Cause the government, make government self look out for me, oh. I'll get 1 kilo finish. Not get something to shop again. What do you want to again? Nothing for our house. Make them help us fight this matter for us because we have no people on our own. You can't follow them fight to our own business. We they fear to enter. But apart from we don't get any other thing we do. Now this video we take money to our life. This planting something we count months. Before April, May we don't start to harvest. Now I go to it go see my farm now. You go follow me cry.
Quite pathetic when you hear the stories of how the herders have been unleashing terror and destroying livelihoods in areas of famine in Bayelsa State. If you look at the context, this has been on for quite some time now. 2021, we all know the state enacted a law, and in that law it has about 8 sections of it, and in this 8th section it was supposed to address every component of making sure that we don't have a repeat of this. Now, you mentioned about people being above, whether these people are above the law. No, they are not. In that section of the law, it talks about transporting cattle from wherever you are into the state. The question is, have we put in place the right mechanism, the right structures to address this 8th component of the law? Now, it's not about setting a committee as it's been enacted, but we must make a deliberate effort to ensure that first, we don't even allow these herders to go into the bush, because they move through the bush. They are nomads, and nomadic lifestyle, they don't stay in one place. So what effort have we put in place to ensure that we get them out from the bush, and if they are seen in the bush, they are being arrested and prosecuted? Because there's a section of the law that talks about arrest and punishment, that is prosecution. Now, the odds lie, it lies in the odds of government once again. We've heard about the commissioner not taking action. We've heard about law enforcement agencies not taking action. I think the governor needs to walk the talk in this matter. Because if we continue in this trend, it's just like in Edo and Delta State. If I think particularly in Edo, it has escalated to the point of kidnapping. And it's linked to the herders. So if we allow this situation to continue in Bayelsa State, we might find out that this same scenario that is playing out in Edo will be happening in Bayelsa State. And we must be able to cut and address, in fact, we must be able to address it and nip it on the bud when it has not come to that full escalation. 5 years gone down the drain. The government even provided a place along the Bayelsa Palm, area where they should be able to do their own little way of cattle ranching in whatever way they want to do it. But allowing these people to continually move around, then it's wrong. So I would suggest that a strict measure be put in place. Get the necessary security agencies. When this matter, you don't even need to wait until it is being addressed. Let them carry out surveillances in these areas and ensure that if they find any herder in that place, they should arrest such persons and prosecute. Nigeria, the problem we have in this country is the fact that we have too many laws, and then we don't prosecute people in these laws. And it makes people to be lawless in this country. If you go to other clients, somebody who feels that he is lawless, the moment he gets to that client, because if you touch this is what is going to happen to you, and nobody will speak for you. Everybody will fall in line. But here in this country, it's like it doesn't matter. If I go in, that's the end. Look at the scenario of even those who were arrested some time ago. I learned they were taken to court, and then at the end of the day, what happens? They were granted bail, and they never showed up again in court, and nothing happened. Probably one or two persons might have been called, and they say, leave them. Maybe. So we need to be very strict. We need to ensure that when you have like 3 or 4 of them being arrested, prosecuted, and probably they serve their term, and then the cattle are being confiscated, I think it will put a stop to that. They will know that Bayelsa is serious, and it's not a place where you come around to play around. People shouldn't take laws into their hands. I would not encourage that.
What would you then make also of the move by certain persons to silence the media and to threaten at every given point that if you talk, this will happen. If you talk, we'll do you this.
Now that aspect, it's not good. You cannot gag a media when issues of such comes up. I think it again boils down to how we think in this climate. I'm sorry to use that word, but you see, media helps you to bring information to the doorstep on situations that are critical, so that you can take the right steps to address them. It is not about witch hunting, and that's one of the things we normally do in this part of the world. Any little issue that comes up, we just want to feel that somebody is witch hunting you, somebody wants to, without addressing the issue.
You're blacklisted. So
we shouldn't do that. That shouldn't even occur, either by the security agencies or by any government personnel. If there is an issue, it should be investigated. A team should be set up to investigate, to know whether the issue being mentioned or being taken up by the media is true or false. If it is true, then put in the right mechanism in place to address it. If it is false, then you now hold such persons accountable, but don't gag them. Gagging media and then threatening and blacklisting or blackmailing, it's not the right way to address crisis when it happens. It's quite unfortunate. We always find ourselves in this vicious circle where when people speak up, it's been translated in the other way around. Now, I want to come from this perspective first. I will still want to work within the ambits of the law. The law states clearly in the 4th part that the livestock committee, management committee, will be responsible for monitoring livestock movement, enforcing the anti-grazing law, approving ranch location, advising the government on livestock policies. Now, this committee is responsible to ensure that the first law of prohibition of open grazing, ranching system, and then aspect of ban on movement of cattle by foot and so on. If we have a committed committee set up by the government, empowered by the government, when I mean empowered, giving all the necessary tools they need, vehicles, security personnel, probably lawyers, public prosecutors who will work with them and they are effective, I don't think we will come to the place where people will be speaking out and then be fighting back. But because we don't have this effective system in place, it affects, the responses people. You push somebody to the wall, and he will get to the wall and he will tell you, sorry, you can't push me anymore because I'm at the end of the wall. And there's nothing, if anything will happen, let it happen. And when you push that person to that point, it's like a boiling point. And in a boiling point, of course, anything happens. Because at that boiling point, there'll be spills. And that's exactly what we are afraid of in Bayelsa State, where we will come to that boiling point, and then before you know it, you have all security personnel entering into our communities, arresting people wantonly, and then as well as destroying communities, probably for them taking laws into their hands. I will call again on government, and I will call the governor to seriously take this as a priority. Food security in any place means a lot. If, for instance, we are down from these farmers who have been going and their farms cannot be accessed, their crops have been destroyed, their livelihoods are gone, it will definitely affect the consumption of the people in the state. We are now having challenges from Benue, where there have been constant header clashes in Benue State. And Benue is known as the food basket of this country. And where are we now? Most of the food that are coming in, they are very expensive. Now, the ones that we have here in Bayelsa that would have been able to complement it, we are running into the same problem. Today, we cannot. How much is Gary? It's very expensive. And we have this thing at our backyard that we would have done. We have fufu, and we have the rest of them byproducts of cassava. We have water yam now has gone into extinction. We are known as the hub for water yam. But water yam is very expensive now because people can't even go to their farms for the fear that they will be met by herders. And when they do, these herders, some of them are armed. The law says that anybody caught carrying arms, whether licensed or not, and you are a herder, should be arrested because you are not supposed to carry arms into the forest. Now we have all this, but nobody has been. And these people, because they want to protect themselves too, probably, they are also armed. And when you go, and that's one of the things we also need to be cautious. When you go and you confront them, and they have arms and you don't have arms, you will know that definitely something else is going to happen in that place. And that is why it is important that the committee, if it is not still active, should be reactivated and empowered with enough security personnel that will go and confront them. Now, there's something again, each time I pass through Bayelsa Palm, I'm not too happy with the way that place is being managed, because you will see the littering, and these cattle are just walking around on the road. Now, if, for instance, we've talked about ranching, or probably a location where they should be kept, it is better that we have a well-fenced place. It might not be block fence, but use wire gauges and all the rest of it. Push them into that place. That is the ideal thing to do. So anybody that is coming in, the law says that you should not, there is ban on movement of cattle, the third section of the law, which means that any cattle entering this state must not go on foot. It must move in a vehicle to the secure location where it has been designated for them to be. And what the government has designated is this Bayelsa Palm Road. And so every cattle that is there, bring them to the Bayelsa Palm Road. It will also create livelihood for some persons, because these cattle they eat grasses. You are buying the cattle, it's not for free. People spend so much of money to buy cow, and they can, and the popular dish of nama and the rest of it. But when you buy them, feeding them, you should be able to pay for the feeds. That's what is done in other clients. There are people who supply feeds to ranches, and they make money out of it. So why don't you have these confined areas and then let people cut those grasses and bring for them, let them be eating in that place, than allowing them to be, prowling around in farms and destroying these farms, which serves as livelihood for people and as well as providing food for people in the society. So it's very wrong, and government, I will call out the governor. Let him not allow this matter to escalate. He should set up the committee, empower them, get security personnel, let them start moving into our bushes, and get security reports, particularly when police are stationed in areas. It's not just to collect little things from drivers. Position them because they see them, and open a toll-free line that the moment they sight these people, they should call that toll-free line immediately, and they should swing into action, go there and pull them out from such forests. Yeah. I think when that is being done and we are proactive and we lock up some persons, probably prosecute them and confiscate them, I think we'll be making a headway. But if we leave it, we might get into that boiling point. And if we get to that boiling point in Bayelsa State, it will be most pathetic.
In other words, you see this primarily as a security challenge.
Yes, it is.
A challenge also for food security in the states.
Yes.
You also see it as a policy failure.
Of course.
Part of the government.
Because 5 years down the drain, 5 years, we have this anti-grazing law. And we are still grappling on how we will enforce that law in this state.
Then the government has failed.
It's most unfortunate. It means that government has failed in this area.
Yeah.
Community chief where I farm is aware of the issue, and I know that on several occasions they've sent youths to try and see if they can drive these headers away. So it is something that they have done. Even the youths, I've seen them gather youths. I can't even count. They will go in the afternoon, the youths will go and try to drive them away. If they see them. Then at night, they will come back and scatter everything. And in the morning, you get to your farm and everything is gone. So I think this issue is even beyond the community leaders. If community leaders go beyond trying to, drive them, it's like they're taking security, the laws into their hands. So it is beyond community leaders. I've said this is beyond youth presidents. I know I've heard the governor speak and say, that the community leaders, and if anything happens, that their headers around their farm, they're going to be held accountable. How do you hold these community leaders accountable for what they know nothing about? Because these farms are very, very far from our communities. We walk 40 to 30 minutes, even more than that, to get to our farms. It's in the forest, creek. So how do you hold these community leaders accountable? They've done their part. They've tried to see how they can drive them away. They've gone there, but this issue is beyond them. The community youths are not armed, except they are telling us that we cannot carry arms and go and fight headers. They will not know that, it's not within us to do that, but it is not. So if it is not, then it is beyond community. But I know that also that the House of Assembly member, our House of Assembly member representing my constituency, which is Nega constituency 1, is aware of the situation. Because I've seen her hold meeting. I saw when they held meeting with the women leaders across the constituency. So they are aware. But what they are doing about it is what I don't know.
Well, at the moment, we have farmers who are still not affected by this, who are in the farms at the moment, right? And there is no security for them, even as the ones who have not had their farms completely destroyed. And some of your other farms that has not been destroyed, you still go to the farm.
I do, but now we go with fear. So much fear that we don't go to farm alone. Even the farms that I'm telling you that have not been destroyed, it's just not been totally destroyed. they've touched, they've harvested and given to their crops, just that they didn't destroy the way they did another side of the farm. And the ones that are closer, the farms that are closer to the community, the herders don't go there. But we don't have enough land space there that they will say, okay, everybody should go to the farms closer to the community. And by the way, why are we going to abandon our farmlands for herders and then leave? It doesn't even make any sense that a foreign body will come to our land and make us leave our farmlands. That like me now, I have a land that I found, that's my granddad's land. I should leave my grandfather's land and then go and look for farmland in other places, or lease farmland in other places that herders are not attacking. We don't even have much land anymore in Agua. All the lands are waterlogged environment. They are creeks. So what other land do we have that we have to abandon that side and then leave, to go and farm? So it's just a terrible situation that we are in. I've had suggestions of poisoning our crops and then so that when the cattle eat, they would die and stuff like that. But honestly, it's getting to that point where people would want to take the laws into their hands and try to do all sorts so that the herders will go away with their cattle. It gets to that point, and I pray it actually does not get to that point. Another thing, the reason why I'm actually very cautious with this issue of taking laws into our hands is because these people are not there are people that maybe when you maybe probably poison your crops and the cattle eat and they die, maybe you will not be able to go to your farm again. Yes, that's how bad it is. You will not be able. The other day we were coming out from my farm and then the women ran down and said, oh, the herders are threatening to rape them. Yeah, with their cow. They were there. That the women ran down. The commissioner for youth that day he came to visit my farm that day. When the women ran out, that the herders are there and they are threatening that they are going to rape them and stuff. Oh, my mom was at the farm one other day and they called me that they were even dancing for them at the farm, that there's nothing anybody can do about it. So it can get to a point that if we actually go that, it's going to turn to a clash. If we decide to resort to self-help, it's going to turn to a serious clash, and we will not end up, might not be able to go to farm again. It's going to be a serious security crisis. So I pray it doesn't get to that point, but is when you see your farm, the pain that comes with the work that you do, the money you spent, the time you spent, everything you've done just to see that everything is wiped out, not by natural disaster, human being coming with their cows or their cattle to destroy your farm. People will actually have their emotions to resort to self-help and look for ways that they can actually make them live.
You've seen them more than on 2 occasions.
Yes, I've seen them.
You see them?
Yeah, I've seen them.
But the security people have not seen them.
They've seen them. Security, like hunters, have seen them. The other time when they arrest them, they sometimes take some of the smaller cows to the police to report and all that. But when they destroy the farm, they come at night. One of the days when they were destroying farm, my mom was at the farm. But they were women, they can't do anything.
They're watching them destroy the farm.
They said, my mom said they were dancing for them, that there is nothing you can do about it. If like now what you want to do now, you go call police now, nothing. That's what they told my mom and the other women at the farm that day.
Such impunity.
Yes, that bad.
It is really a bad situation we are finding ourselves in Bayelsa State, and drastic measures need to be taken to ensure that this does not escalate beyond what is expected. When a person, the other speaker was talking about probably people who owns these cattle might be Bayelsans, and we need to find out who they are. It may not be, probably there might be some fractions owned by Bayelsans, but the nomadic lifestyle, if you understand how it is, the nomads, the Fulani extraction from history, they live like today is the last day. And they are ready to go to whatever point that they need to go to. And when you see people who exhibit those kind of traits, and you allow them in your environment to be dominant in that environment, they will be ready to take over that environment before you know it. And that is the reason why the only way we can stop this early enough is to see how security personnel will be mobilized to these areas, particularly that has been affected. Because when it happens, you will see a repeated pattern where they come again and they come again and they come again. So you know that within this circle, this area, these people are there. Get hold of them first. Don't spare anybody. Whether it is owned by anybody from Bayelsa or is owned by somebody from outside, don't spare them. Bring everybody to the book and ensure that this thing stops. We have not started hearing rapes. The threats of rape from what we've had is coming. It might be your sister. It might be your mother. It might be your auntie. It might be your child. And it will be so painful. While growing up, I did a little bit of farming, and I know what it takes to put hours in a farm.
Strenuous job.
Very strenuous. And when you finish, you are expecting a good harvest to come out of it. And then here you are, somebody or some human being coming with cattle will just come and clear everything. All your hard work, it is very painful. And it may push people, like as I said, to the wall. And if that happens in Bayelsa State, that people are pushed to the wall, a typical Ijaw man is a very friendly person. But an Ijaw man is also a man of war. If you push an Ijaw man to that boiling point, and he puts on his war garment and says, I want to go to war, then you know that all hell will break loose. And we don't want that kind of situation in Bayelsa State. We want a scenario where law enforcement agencies, I call on you, live up to your expectation and nip this in the bud before it escalates. Otherwise, we'll have issues. Now, I also want to talk to the Commissioner for Agric. Livestock is under his purview, and if we have an open anti-open grazing law, then it's in its place to also ensure that this matter is addressed. Do a memo and send it to HE. Let him also know the situation on ground. Sometimes the governor may not be briefed properly. He may not be briefed properly. And when he's not briefed properly, it takes him very difficult time to act. Recently, I heard him on radio when they talked about this demolition in Yeniswegene. That place, people have been crying for a long time. And I heard him, he said, I was driving by and I saw again and I got the information. And I told security agencies, you have done well on this other side. Do well to do on the other side too. And action was taken. That place was a den. And action was taken. So I believe that if he is properly briefed on this header crisis, not hearsay, properly briefed and recommendations made, he will swing into action and something positive will come out. But I pray it doesn't escalate.
always ask me, oh, why are you always protesting? Why are you the only one coming out to protest and all that? I know women have been coming out to protest. Like I said, this issue has been going on for years, and that is why they have the anti-opioid law since 2021. So it is a food security issue. It is a livelihood issue. It is farming. I grew up here, and I know that farming for women here, for people here, is their major source of livelihood. And I just want to plead with the government, because we've been protesting, we've written petitions, you know, we've been crying out on social media and everywhere, but till now nothing has been done. Please help us and just end this crisis before it escalates more than this. Help us so that we can feed ourselves, our families, and just help us. Honestly, just do your work. It is your duty to protect our lives and our property. It is your duty to be, you are in charge of our welfare in this state, so please just help us and do your job. Honestly, just do your job and do what is right, so that this thing does not escalate, so that we don't come back and start talking. Because I just feel like at the point I'm even looking like a mad person, coming out every single day to protest like I don't have any other thing to do. Please do your job so that we don't have to keep crying. I mean, it is your job, it is your duty as a government, so do your job. Thank you.
Just 3 words I would say. 1, government, walk the talk. A law has been enacted 5 years. Walk the talk. Make sure that that law is active. Secondly, let us look at the strategy concerning this anti-grazing, especially where locations of livestock have been addressed. We need to re-strategize and know best how we could develop a proper ranching method in Bayelsa State, where we can accommodate these herders in such ranch, and then they in turn will be able to carry out their activities and business within the confines of this ranch that probably the state government might provide. Thirdly, we must be proactive as a people and as a government. Proactiveness in the sense that when these situations happen, people should have there should be empathy for those that have been affected. For instance, livelihoods are lost. Government should provide the needed grants. In every clime, there is always support, especially in areas of famine. If we have grants that have been made available, identify the right set of persons and give these farmers, the grant. That way it will alleviate probably the situation they find themselves and how they could improve on their losses that they have already had. Proactiveness also on the part of our people. Let us learn not to take laws into our hands, but also quickly, inform the law enforcement agencies or relevant agencies, that have been identified that will address these headers, so that this matter doesn't escalate. You take law into your hands, it will bring problems more to our people. So I want to say that these key 3 things, for me, they are very essential. And if we run with it as a state, we'll get a better result. Thank you.